Have you ever done something with the best intentions, only to later realize it was working against you? Have you ever woken up after a workout and thought, why does this hurt more now than it did 20 years ago? Or maybe you've been doing the same exercises you've trusted your whole life, only to suddenly feel your knees buckle, your back tighten, or your balance disappear for a split second. You pause, and you tell yourself, maybe it's just age catching up. But deep down, something doesn't feel right. Something feels off. And you can't shake that tiny voice whispering, this shouldn't feel this dangerous. Because here's the truth nobody warned you about. Some exercises that were perfectly fine in your 40s, 50s, even your 60s, become silently harmful in your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because your body has changed in ways that these old routines simply don't respect anymore. And that's the part nobody ever talks about. Everyone praises exercise. Everyone says, just keep moving. But nobody tells you that the wrong movements, the ones you've been told are good for you, can slowly wear down your joints, strain your back, and weaken your stability without you even noticing. It's subtle at first. A little stiffness here. A sharp pinch there. A feeling that you're one wrong step away from a fall you didn't see coming. And as you age, especially into your 70s, 80s, and beyond, those tiny signals matter. Because the wrong exercises don't just cause discomfort. They can steal your mobility, rob you of independence, and chip away at the longevity you've worked so hard to protect. That's why this video is so important. Not to scare you. Not to discourage you. But to help you stay strong, confident, and active for years to come, without putting your health at risk. Today, I'm going to reveal the 3 exercises you must stop immediately if you want to protect your joints, your balance, and your long-term strength. Not because exercise is bad, exercise is vital. But because these specific movements become dangerous as the body ages. They quietly overload your knees. They compress your spine. They disrupt your balance. And worst of all, they trick you into thinking they're helping while they're slowly doing the opposite. And don't worry. I'm not here to take anything away from you. I'm here to guide you toward safer, smarter alternatives you can start using today. Movements that protect your joints instead of grinding them down. Exercises that build strength without risking injury. Simple routines that support your heart, your stability, your mobility, and your independence. But before we get started, I want to know something. If you're committed to staying strong, active, and healthy in your later years, go ahead and type "healthy for life" in the comments below. Your commitment inspires others more than you know. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide for more life-changing senior health insights. This is your space, your community, and your journey to aging with strength and confidence. Let's start with the first exercise, and this one surprises a lot of people. Deep squats and heavy knee-bending movements. I want you to picture this for a moment. James is 78 years old. A proud man. A disciplined man. The kind of person who believes in pushing himself just a little bit every day. And every morning, without fail, he would stand in his living room, take a deep breath, and drop into a deep squat, because that's what he'd been told would keep him young and strong. At first, he felt fine. Maybe a little stiff, but nothing alarming. But over time, something subtle started to happen. His knees began to feel weaker. Not painful, just unstable. A little more pressure. A little more wobble. Then one morning, he lowered himself down, and couldn't get back up without holding onto the kitchen counter. In that moment, he didn't feel bold, he felt betrayed. Betrayed by an exercise he thought was helping him. And the truth is, James isn't alone. So many seniors do deep squats because they've heard it's good for the legs, or good for mobility, or good for aging gracefully. But after 70, your body doesn't respond to that movement the same way it did when you were younger. Here's what's really happening inside your knees. Your cartilage naturally thins. Your joint fluid becomes less protective. Your ligaments lose some elasticity. And deep squats, especially the kind where you drop low, can put 7 to 9 times your body weight onto those already fragile joints. That means every time you bend too low, your knees absorb a load they were never designed to handle at this stage of life. It wears down cartilage faster. It increases the chance of a sudden slip or collapse. And it can trigger painful arthritis flare-ups that take days, sometimes weeks, to recover from. But here's the biggest misconception. A lot of seniors believe that, the deeper the squat, the stronger the legs. But at your age, depth doesn't mean strength. Depth means danger. You don't need to force your knees into extreme angles for your legs to get stronger. In fact, the stronger senior legs are built with control, not depth. So what should you do instead? You replace the risk with something safer, something smarter. Start with chair-assisted squats. Holding onto the back of a sturdy chair allows you to move without overloading your joints. You still work your muscles, but your knees stay protected. Try wall sits. They strengthen the thighs without that heavy downward pressure. And practice mini squats with good form. Small, controlled motions. No rushing. No dropping low. Just gentle strengthening that supports your knees instead of crushing them. You see, you're not giving up squats, you're upgrading them to fit the body you have today. And as important as it is to protect your knees, there's another part of your body that's even more vulnerable to the wrong movements. A part that quietly takes on more strain than you realize. Because your knees aren't the only area at risk. Another exercise silently stresses your back more than you may ever have imagined. Sit-ups and floor crunches. I want you to picture Martha. She's 82 years old, sharp mind, warm smile, and the kind of determination that could outshine people half her age. One day, she found an old exercise tape she used to follow back in her 50s. It had sit-ups, crunches, and those classic floor routines she remembered so well. She thought, why not? I need to strengthen my core. So every morning, she would roll out her mat, lie down, and pull herself into a sit-up. And for a while, everything seemed fine, until the mornings when she tried to get out of bed and felt a sharp, burning pain right in the lower back. Not a dull ache, not stiffness, but a sharp pain that made her pause and hold on to the bed frame. At first, she brushed it off. But with each passing day, the pain grew louder. Every time she stood up, her back felt like it was fighting against her. It wasn't until her doctor explained what was happening that she realized the truth. Those old-fashioned sit-ups were working against her body, not for it. Here's why. When you do a sit-up or a crunch, your spine curves in a way that compresses the vertebrae. That's fine when you're younger and still have plenty of cushioning. But after 70, your spine naturally loses some of that shock absorption. The discs aren't as thick. The joints aren't as flexible. And every time you curl forward, you force your back into a position it simply can't tolerate anymore. Sit-ups also strain the neck and tighten the hip flexors, two areas that are already vulnerable in older adults. Tight hip flexors tug on the lower back, creating imbalance and pain. And the repeated pulling motion of sit-ups places unnecessary stress on the neck, especially if your hands are behind your head. But the biggest issue? Sit-ups target the surface abdominal muscles, the ones you don't actually rely on at your age. When you're in your 70s, 80s, and beyond, the muscles that matter most are the deep stabilizers. These are the muscles that help you stand without wobbling. The ones that keep you steady when you walk. The ones that prevent falls. The number one danger for seniors. So while sit-ups make you feel like you're working the core, they ignore the muscles that truly protect you. The good news? You can build a strong, stable core without putting your spine at risk. Start with seated knee lifts. Just lift one knee at a time while sitting upright. You'll feel your lower abdomen engage without any strain on your back. Try standing core marches. These help your balance and coordination at the same time. Do pelvic tilts on a soft surface like a bed or couch. They help activate your deep core without bending your spine. And practice gentle abdominal bracing, drawing your belly inward as though you're tightening a belt. Simple. Controlled. Safe. These movements strengthen the muscles that keep you upright, steady, and protected. But if you think sit-ups are dangerous, there's one more exercise that puts seniors at the highest risk of sudden injury. And most people don't even think of it as exercise. It hides behind the illusion of being a simple stretch, yet it's one of the most risky movements you can do in your later years. Toe touches and forward bending stretches. I want you to think about Evelyn. She's 80 years old, bright, active, and still full of pride in the way she takes care of herself. Every morning, she had a simple routine. She would stand tall, breathe in, and reach straight down toward her toes. In her mind, it was her way of staying limber and proving she was still flexible. She'd done it all her life, so why stop now? But one morning, everything changed. She bent forward like she always did, only this time, her back suddenly locked. Not a slow ache. Not a gentle stiffness. It locked, tight, sharp, and unforgiving. She froze, halfway down, unable to straighten up. She had to hold on to the dresser just to pull herself back upright, trembling the whole way. That moment shook her. Because she wasn't doing anything extreme. She wasn't lifting weights. She wasn't twisting or jumping. She was simply trying to touch her toes, something that felt so innocent, so familiar, so normal. But here's the truth, as you age, your spine changes dramatically. After 70, your spine naturally loses elasticity. The discs become thinner and less cushioned. The ligaments stiffen. And the muscles around the lower back lose some of their natural support. So when you bend forward, especially with a rounded back, an enormous amount of pressure lands on the lower spine. More than most people realize. Forward bending can cause disc bulges that press on nerves. Nerve compression that shoots pain down the legs. Dizziness from the sudden shift in blood pressure. A sudden loss of balance, which can lead to a fall before you even understand what happened. This is why so many seniors experience that frightening moment when their back seizes up or refuses to straighten. It's not weakness. It's not failure. It's simply a movement your spine can no longer tolerate safely. And yet, many older adults still believe touching their toes is a sign of being youthful or still flexible. But the truth is, this motion does the opposite. It rounds the spine in a way that overstretches the muscles, strains the hamstrings, and destabilizes the core. It doesn't protect your back, it exposes it. The good news is, you can stay flexible without ever putting your spine in harm's way. Instead of toe touches, try a standing hamstring stretch with support. Hold on to a counter or chair and gently extend one leg forward. This stretches safely without bending the back. A seated gentle reach. Sitting keeps your spine supported while letting you stretch without folding your body in half. Hip flexor and calf stretches. These improve mobility in the lower body, which actually reduces back pressure. And incorporate back-safe mobility routines, movements that strengthen, loosen, and support your spine without forcing it into risky positions. These alternatives aren't downgrades. They're smart choices. Choices that respect the body you have today, not the one you had 20 or 30 years ago. And even though these may seem like small adjustments, they're not small at all. These are the kinds of changes that protect your independence, your balance, your mobility, and your ability to live life on your own terms. Because when you move safely, you move confidently. And when you move confidently, you stay active longer. These may seem like simple changes, but they make the difference between slow decline and long-term independence. And this brings us to something much deeper. Something emotional. Something most seniors don't talk about openly, but feel so deeply inside. It's not easy to accept that exercises you've done for years might actually be harming you. For many, these movements weren't just part of a routine, they were a symbol of discipline, strength, and the belief that staying active meant staying young. Aging doesn't just challenge the body, it challenges the pride, the mindset, and sometimes even the sense of identity. Letting go of certain habits can feel like letting go of a piece of yourself. But here's the truth, choosing to avoid risky exercises isn't a sign that you're getting weak, it's a sign that you're getting wiser. It's choosing safety over strain, longevity over discomfort, and independence over unnecessary injury. It's acknowledging that your body isn't failing you, it's guiding you toward better, safer choices. And this is where real strength shows up. Not in how low you can squat or how far you can bend, but in how mindfully you care for the body that has carried you through every season of life. The small adjustments you make today are the decisions that protect your mobility, your balance, and your confidence in the years ahead. If any of these exercises are still part of your routine, let this be the moment you take one small step toward change. Swap just one movement for a safer alternative. It doesn't have to be dramatic. You don't have to overhaul your entire routine overnight. Just one change. One thoughtful choice. One act of self-respect that your future self will thank you for. You're not losing strength, you're learning how to use it wisely. And that wisdom is what keeps you mobile, independent, and vibrant in your 70s, 80s, and well beyond. Remember, you have nothing to prove, but everything to protect. To recap, the 3 exercises you should avoid for longevity are: Number 1. Deep squats. Number 2, sit-ups and crunches. And number 3, toe-touch forward bends. Replacing these with safer alternatives can protect your joints, support your balance, and extend your independence for years to come. I'm curious, which of these exercises surprised you the most? Was there one you've been doing for decades without realizing the risks? Or maybe there's an exercise that never felt quite right for your body but you weren't sure why. Share your experience in the comments below. Your story may be the one that helps another senior avoid an injury. If today's video brought you clarity or helped you rethink your routine, take a moment to like this video. It makes a tremendous difference in helping more seniors discover life-changing health tips they truly need. And don't forget to subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide for daily videos crafted with care, insight, and the mission to keep you healthy, informed, and strong. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Stay strong, stay informed, and remember, your best years can still be ahead of you. I'll see you in the next video.